At the Glen Innes sale yards, cattle producers fear they're the ones at risk of being sold out.
A little bit gobsmacked, I've got to say. It's a huge call from our federal government.
The government's made the call to grant US beef producers greater access to the Australian market after a years-long review and complaints directly from Donald Trump.
Australia bans, and they're wonderful people and wonderful everything, but they ban American beef.
Australia lifted its ban on US beef in 2019, but only for cattle born, raised and slaughtered in America. In 2020, the US applied to expand access to include cattle from Mexico and Canada that end up in American abattoirs. That request now approved. The minister confident it won't compromise biosecurity.
This decision has been purely based on science and a rigorous assessment by my department.
This is an announcement that we were only made aware of yesterday. Bringing it to a conclusion in this manner has caused a shock through the industry.
So much so that Cattle Australia has joined the Nationals in demanding an independent review of the decision.
When you see that this decision has been made and yet none of the details are put out, it raises suspicion because of the fact that Anthony Albanese is trying to get a meeting with Donald Trump.
In question time, the opposition doubled down.
Why has the Australian Prime Minister failed to meet with the US President?
Members of this parliament have a choice sometimes of whether they will back Australia or seek to undermine Australia.
The government insists this is a decision driven by science, not a desperate attempt to appease Donald Trump. But at the same time, it's hoping this helps convince the US president to remove the tariffs he's imposed on Australia. Either way, the Trump administration is claiming it as a win, describing it as a major breakthrough for American farmers, adding it's absurd that non-scientific trade barriers prevented our beef from being sold to consumers in Australia for the last 20 years. As a major producer and exporter, Australia's shown little appetite for American beef in the past. But the government's given the burger-loving president something to chew on. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.